Hey everyone, and a massive welcome to you, my brothers and sisters. Praise be to God. I am so thrilled that you have chosen to join me or to watch my channel. For those who are new to this channel, my name is Sally, and this is your channel. Tonight or today, we're diving into a topic while I'm doing all this other stuff. It's just me talking through the video, but you guys still enjoy to watch my everyday life. This is just one of the weekend that I had to do the lawnmower and to mow my lawn and also do cleaning in the house, just joining as we get into the topic of today that I believe incredibly it will be relevant to all of us, no matter where we are in life. Okay? We live in a world that often demands instant result, right? We want things now. We want to see the full picture. And waiting can feel well agonizing. But what if I told you there's profound wisdom, peace, and even purpose to be found in embracing the journey, in truly trusting the process, especially when we anchor that trust in our faith? Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore what trusting the process really means in our daily lives, and most importantly, how the Bible speaks directly to this. We'll look at some powerful verses and stories that can encourage and equip each one of us. And stick around because I've got something thoughts on how we can practically apply this truth. Before we jump in, I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. Drop your city or country in the chat or the comment. Let's see how global our community is. And hey, if you haven't already, this is a great time to hit that subscribe button and then turn the notification bell so you don't miss out on future encouragement like this. Okay, so trust in the process. This is a daily life. It's not just a one day. You have to do this over and over and over again. So, what does trust in the process actually look like in our everyday lives? It's about understanding that growth, achievement, and even healing often don't happen overnight or now. Healing takes a process, but it also depends with how you adjust your mind. Think about it. A student working towards a degree, that's a process of lectures, study, and a lot of exams. An athlete training for competition, that's a process of daily workouts, discipline, and pushing limits. Do you get now the feeling? Even healing from a heart, whether physical or emotional, that's a process that requires time and care. In our spiritual lives, it's no different. We might be praying for a breakthrough, seeking guidance on a big decision, or longing for a deeper relationship with God. These are all processes, and often the most challenging part is in the in between, that space where we've started but haven't yet reached the desired outcome. This in between can be filled with doubt, frustration, and impatience. We might even ask, am I doing this right? Will this ever work out? God, do you even hear me? These are genuine questions. These are natural human responses. But the Bible offers us a powerful alternative to being consumed by these questions. It invites us to shift our focus from this uncertainty of the outcome to the certainty of God's process and faithfulness within the process. Think about a time in your life when you had to wait for something significant. Maybe it was a job offer, a relationship to develop, or a prayer to be answered, right? I've been in those processes. I've been in that waiting time. And in these very moments that God to trust the process becomes so vital. The good news is we're not left to figure this out on our own. The Bible is filled with wisdom about trusting God's timing and His ways. Let's look at a few verses. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. One of the cornerstone verses of this topic is in Proverb, and it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Let's break that down. Trusting in the Lord with all your heart, not just a little bit, not just when it's easy, but completely. All of it, all of you, lean on your own understanding. This is huge. Our understanding is limited. We see a tiny fraction of the bigger picture. God sees it all. When we try to figure everything out ourselves, we often end up stressed and confused. Do you agree? I am in agreement. But when we submit these things that are putting us in confusion or stressing us, if we submit these things to Him, acknowledging His sovereignty, He promises to direct our paths. This doesn't mean the path will always be easy or look like what we expected, but it will be the right path, the one leading to His purpose. Let's look again on Jeremiah 29, verse 11. This is another incredibly comforting verse. It says, for I know the plans I have for you. You that is listening, this verse was given to the Israelite during a time of immense difficulty that you are in right now, in exile, a place that you feel like you are in a prison, and a very long and painful process. God reassures them and even us that His plans are ultimately for our good, for our hope, and for our future. Trusting the process means believing this, that God, even when our current circumstances feel far from prosperous or hopeful, it's about holding on to the promise that God is working behind the scene for a purpose we might not yet comprehend. One more verse, Philippians chapter 1, verse 6. It says, being confident of this, that he who, if you are a believer, God has started a good work in you. Your spiritual growth, your journey of faith, it's a process He initiated and He is faithful to complete it. This verse is a powerful reminder that we're not striving in our own strength. God is the master craftsman and He's committed to finishing what He starts in our lives. Trusting the process means trusting His ability to bring things to fruition. Okay, so all things, not just the good things, not just the easy thing, God can take the struggles, the setbacks, the confusion parts of our journey and will weave them into something good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. This doesn't mean bad things won't happen or that the process won't sometimes be painful, but it does mean that God is sovereign over it all and He's always working towards a greater ultimate ultimate good. Which of these verses resonate with you the most right now? Share the verse or a keyword from it in the chat or in the comment. It's so powerful to see which scriptures speak to different people in different seasons. For me, I always go back to God, you have plans for me. And the plans that you have had for me, even before you put me in my mother's womb, you spoke about me and you said that the plans you have for me, they're never to destroy me. Every plan you have for me is for good, is for future, and it's to give me a hope. That is the verse I go back to most of the time when I'm feeling like I am big. I want to know, what about you? What is the verse that speaks to you most of the time in the Bible? Think about characters in the Bible. Joseph sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused, imprisoned. His process was long and incredible difficult, but God was with him. And eventually he was elevated to a position where he saved many lives. You will find this verse from from Genesis 37 to 50. He had to trust God through unimaginable trials. So even whatever trials you're going through right now, that which you feel like is unimaginable, that which you think, why just me? God will still take through you. He will take you through out of those unimaginable trials. If he did it for David, if he did it for Joseph, if he did it for Joe, who are you? You are greater. You are an anointed person. And just the things you're going through, they're just little. So stay encouraged. These stories aren't just ancient history, they are testaments to God's faithfulness through the process. Okay, so we've looked at what the Bible says, but how do we practically live this out? How do we actively trust the process in our daily lives? Daily surrender and prayer. That is the first thing. Surrendering every day and praying every day. Start each day by surrendering your plans, your worries, and your timeline to God. Ask Him for the strength and wisdom to trust His process for that day. Prayer isn't just about asking for things, it's about aligning our hearts with God's will and acknowledging His sovereignty over our lives. Second, focus on the present steps. Sometimes the overall process feels too big, too doubting. Instead of getting overwhelmed by the entire staircase, focus on the steps right in front of you. What is God calling you to do today? Be faithful in the small things. As the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bit at a time. The same applies to navigating God's process. The third thing is cultivate gratitude, even in the waiting, even in the struggle. There are things to be thankful for. Gratitude shifts our perspective from what we lack to what we have, from our anxiety to God's provision. Take a moment right now and think of one thing you are grateful for in this current season of your life. Feel free to share it in the chat if you're comfortable. Let's create a wave of gratitude. Fourth, seek godly counsel and community. Don't try to go through challenging processes alone. And I know we are all different. There are people who prefer to go through the processes alone, and there are people who prefer to go through the process with somebody else. Talk to trusted Christian friends, mentors, or your pastor. Share your struggles and allow others to speak truth and encouragement into your life. We are the body of Christ, meant to support and uplift one another, not to destroy, not to make the other person feel inferior. No, remember God's past faithfulness. This is a key to your life. Look back on your life. Can you see times when God brought you through difficult situations? When He provided, when His timing in retrospect was perfect? Remembering God's faithfulness in the past builds our faith to trust Him in the present and for the future. If you have a short testimony of God's faithfulness in a past process, I'd love for you to briefly share a keyword about it in the comment, like Job answered or healing came. Let's encourage each other. Often, the process itself is where the most significant growth happens. God is often more interested in shaping our character, developing patience, perseverance, deeper faith than He is in just getting us to the destination quickly. Ask yourself, what might God be trying to teach me or develop in me during this process? Trusting the process does not mean passivity. It doesn't mean we do nothing. We still have responsibilities. We still need to work plan and make wise decisions. But it means doing all of that with underlying trust that God is ultimately in control of the outcome and the timing. It's about effort infused with faith. So, as we wrap up our time together, I want to leave you with this encouragement. The journey of faith, the unfolding of your life purpose, is a divine process orchestrated by a loving and all powerful God. There will be twists and turns. There will be moments of clarity and moments of confusion. There will be seasons of waiting and seasons of rapid advancement. Through it all, the invitation remains the same. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't despise the small beginnings. Don't lose heart in the middle. God is faithful. He who began a good work in you will see it through it to completion. The process is part of the promise. And I'd love to continue this conversation. What one practical step you take this week to actively trust God process in your life? Share it in the comments below. Your commitment might inspire someone else. And with this, I speak God blessing on each and every one of you. Peace of Christ, and I will see you next time. Take care.